Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I have an unusual article, and that is an assessment of the friendship between President of the Russian Federation, Vladimir Putin, and the President of Turkey, Tayyip Erdogan. And they say in this article, coming from Russia Today, that the reason why, one of the reasons why, and I will discuss in this video, why these guys are having a good relationship is because, and I'm quoting, Putin considers Erdogan a real man. End quote. So that was a quotation, okay? A quote from January 20th, 2023, Russia Today. And I'm quoting again the title, Putin considers Erdogan a real man. Why Russia maintains friendly relations with one of NATO's key members. So how Russia and Turkey have managed to keep friendly ties despite conflicts and contradictions. And they tell us about the Syria conflict where they had some scuffles, some, escalated almost to a military conflict when the Turkish army destroyed, I think, a Sukhoi 24 bomber that was operating in North Syria and allegedly, or how we want to call it, crossed into the Turkish territory and it was shut down. So there was the lowest point between the relationship, but they mended fences. They had a lot of interaction in Syria and they still stuck together. Then they have the economic aspect, which is Russia provides Turkey with natural gas and resources, including tourism. Turkey has some investments in Russia. Russia has investments in Turkey. So the economic aspect is covered. And they say the Caucasian issue. They talk about the contradictions between Moscow and Ankara in Syria, obviously, and the Ukrainian crisis. In the Ukrainian crisis, as you know, Erdogan tried to, discuss with Putin and with Zelensky and play the role of a mediator and a solid relationship. Well, they saw their interests, their country's interests first, and then the alliance's interest. That's one of the reasons. And because Turkey does not follow the US's orders almost never, it only when it fits its interest. That's why Turkey can play a independent role, follows and fulfills its interests. Whereas, let's say, Romania doesn't do that. It looks at the United States and say, what do you want me to do? And the state says, drop your pants and let's go. So that's Romania or Bulgaria or, Poland or countries like this, including Germany, by the way. But Turkey seems to have a backbone and some balls there. Now, on top of that, these guys talk about this particular relationship between the two leaders, however we want to call them, and that is, I would say, one of the most important aspects of the fact that these countries are getting along. Because once you build a personal relationship with someone built on trust, consistency, then it's harder to break that bond. Why? Because in the world where anybody can, stab you in the back, cut your things, and throw it to the dogs, you have someone who at least is consistent in, if I tell you something, let's do it. That's not my interest. I'm not going to get involved. Okay, at least you know that person is straight. Now, the title, you heard it. Putin considers Erdogan to be a man. What does that mean? I know, this is the article, okay? So let's see what these guys are saying. Personal relations between the two leaders also play an important role. And I'm quoting, Putin considers Erdogan a, and I'm quoting, real man, end quote, who keeps his word. Huh? That's something we haven't heard in, 150 years or something. Honor, personal honor. Remember? Keeping your word. That used to be by default in some groups, some areas, among some people. But nowadays, that's a very, very rare, how should I put it, article that you find, ability. So, Putin considers Erdogan a real man who keeps his word. And I'm continuing to quote: "This is a new characteristic for the president of Turkey, but Erdogan has demonstrated loyalty to his obligations." So, not loyalty to Biden or United States, no, to his obligations. That means if I tell you I meet you tomorrow at 5 p.m. in front of the church, I will meet you there. If something comes out, I let you know. Okay? So don't waste your time. I apologize, but I let you know so you don't come over there. Okay? That's the worst thing that I can do. Call you. But I will show up over there. If I'm dead, before I die, if I could, I leave to my whomever. Get me there at 5 o'clock in front of the church. Dead or alive. At least the guy shows up, sees me dead. Oh, well, I guess. Thank you very much. So, according to Amur Gadzhiev, another important aspect is that both sides comply with their obligations under binding mutual agreements. This was evident in the framework of the Syrian settlements, the agreements on Karabakh and other issues in the context of bilateral cooperation such as regional problems, trade, economic and energy cooperation, as well as cultural and humanitarian ties. And I'm quoting: "As long as there's mutual trust and all sides observe their obligations under existing agreements, there will be no obstacles to the mutual beneficial cooperation of the two countries in the future," end quote, said Amur Gadzhiev. So, this is some, people's assessment of the relationship between the two countries. The article is talking about cooperation, or at least respecting each country's red lines in Syria. Basically, that's the one. And then in Ukraine, again, I will do that for you, or I would get involved in that, or I will not get involved in that. But at least you let me know, okay? You're straight. That's why I don't know. I didn't know that's a man characteristic. Anyway, here is what it is, and from how should I put it? I don't know if you guys have been in a certain kind of situation where you do not trust the other side. Be it obviously in a negotiation, being in a war, being in a, in a family, being in whatever you are, in a fight, in gangs. Trust is built, even if you're trust in a way of respect by fulfilling your obligations. That was a very beautiful, how should I put it, wording over there. Fulfilling your obligations. So if we agree to fight somewhere at a certain time, you show respect. And first of all, by doing that, you respect yourself. And you can't really respect anybody else before you respect yourself. So you have to respect yourself in order to be able to respect others. Otherwise, you will be, you will break each and every agreement and any trust in anyone if you don't, you're not ashamed of your behavior. But you have to have standards. Then you have to have shame. If you have standards, you have to, live up to those standards. Now, if you can't live up to the standards, either lower them, but let everybody know that you lowered your standards, or if you can't, you would feel guilt because it's a failure. And what do? Don't apologize. Improve. It's like you make a mistake and you apologize. That's not enough. That's just 1 out of 100. The 99 is changing your behavior. If you did not, that's how you prove you're really sorry, when you change your behavior. In this case, it was, I think, a 2016 attempt to, overthrow Erdogan, if you remember, with the military and other interests over there, outside interests that played a role in the attempt to overthrow him. And some people said that the Russians helped Russian military, Russian special troops, and information and blah, blah, blah. Putin supposedly, this is just what other people said. I can't vouch for that. I have no direct evidence to support that. But just for the sake of sharing that, it's been said that Putin helped Erdogan to, move around, let him know what's going on and so on. Not him, Erdogan, go over there, around that corner. Yeah. No, not like that. not in like in not like in Matrix. Remember Matrix, the movie? Now go when I tell you to do this. Blah, blah, blah. Not like that. But anyway, it seems like that was the moment when Erdogan switched from the United States being, yes, 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 not really yes, 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 was not yes, 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 yes before that either, but at least, being, yeah, I'm with these guys. And I think that attempt, when he realized who's who, what's what, I think he said, well, you know what, actually, I'm alone. And everybody else is for himself. So I have to watch my back, and I can't just allow myself to be in Putin's hands or this alliance hands and so on. It's me through my own, power, and I have to take care of myself, as everybody else have to look for their interest. So, as I said, trust is built by consistency and pattern. I remember in one of the interviews I watched of Putin. I can't remember. It was in a. It doesn't matter who interviewed him, but he was asked, "Is there anything you can't forgive?" And Putin said, "Yeah, that's one thing. There is disloyalty." So for Putin, the worst thing that you can do to that guy is disloyalty. Now, loyalty could be, how should I put it, regardless of if it's a good thing or bad thing. Like in the mafia, no, and in gangs, you're loyal to that chief, that boss, knowing that that action is a negative action. But that's what loyalty, I guess, it's inspired by mafia, and that's in political parties as well. Just go to political parties and see how you get assigned or appointed on positions after you campaign for someone. The same way, I've been loyal to you, I had your back, I took the fall for you, and if you do that, that means you're gonna do it again. And you're a guy that you're loyal for me, even whatever happened to me. And when I get in power, you come with me. But how do you think these guys assign their cabinets or the people around them? If they're still conscious, if you know what I mean, and you're not a little bit on Alzheimer spectrum. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.